The winter break is up and France have been declared the World Cup champions for 2 World Cup meetings in a row. Yeah, they won it. Again, France beat Switzerland by 3 goals to 1. They won it in 2018, France won it in 2022. 3 goals to 1. The scorers in that final, of which I am really happy about, as you can see, Giroud scored 1 penalty, and then Anthony Martial, our man in form, scored 2 goals in the finals. Not only that, we can just go through just a little bit of this. Third place playoff, Croatia beat Poland by 1 goal to 0. In the semi-finals, France eliminated Croatia 2 goals to 0. Switzerland eliminated Poland by 3 goals to 0. If you're wondering if these were the clubs that were in the semi-finals, where did all the other teams go to? Well, a couple of teams were eliminated in the quarters. Poland eliminated Netherlands, Switzerland eliminated Spain, France eliminated England, and Croatia eliminated Portugal. All the big names stepped out in the quarterfinals. In the second round, or round of 16, a couple of teams also eliminated, with a very nice performance from England beating Senegal by 6 goals to 0. This was one of those matches where you felt it was really nice to watch. The goal top scorer was Andrej Kramaric with 7 goals, the Croatian. Kylian Mbappe with 6, Ronaldo with 6. And then the top performer was Kylian Mbappe, and followed by Andy Zakiri from Switzerland, and then Cristiano Ronaldo. And that prompted me to go in and look at the profile of Andy Zakiri, who plays for Basel. Current ability is 2-star, potential ability is 2.5-star. He is a striker by primary position, and then can also play on the right. His natural position is at the left wing. Then also he can play a striker, which is also natural, and then right is secondary. One of the best players during the World Cup. Looking at his contract details, he's contracted to Brighton. He's on loan at Basel. Wow. And apart from that, if you have already realized up to now, if you're a keen guy, we have a new skin. We have something new, and that is what I want to talk about in this video. Yes, we went into the winter break when we were here. This is what it looked like. And now we are back, and this is what we have. A completely new look, new skin. All the badges are installed. I'm so happy. We were using the custom badges. If you just look at the table, the badges, every team, every squad, everything is installed. Then apart from that, just coming to the tabs, look at this. The stadium, Anfield, it's Liverpool, England. It has all the information, and I also have installed all the cut out faces. Wonderful. Just looks great. Look at this. The competition badges, the national team badges, the club badges, the players. If you also come to look at the players in the senior squad, they all have their faces. They look so handsome. I'm so happy about this one. And the skin is Vin's skin. Link for downloading this skin, if you may want it, is in the description below. And before you go into looking at before we continue that, I just want us to look at what the skin has and what it's all about. It's a really wonderful skin that I looked through, and it just jazzed me. Thanks so much, Vince, for this. This is one of those wonderful Football Manager skins that you just must have. First of all, on the home tab, if you can see, we have the fixtures. This one is all that. I downloaded the badges. I'm so happy about that. And then next up, you can see we have the league table here. We have the league position, how we have been performing, and our overall position. The league table is on the side. That's nice. And then we have our next match and expected tactical style that Leicester are expected to use. I really love this about this skin. Tends to play with a more cautious mentality when playing away. Leicester play a wing play style. Players will look to get the ball out wide, and then they also tell us how we are expected to perform. The summary for everything: Leicester pose little threat. They are well below us in the league, and their recent form is a lot worse than ours, so we are expected to beat them. Key findings on them we can also see here. If I open this one, their physical output midfielder Kenan Dewsbury Hall is under the tab of high distance covered, high number of sprints completed, where Marcel Sabitzer tops it all. Is just up there in his own world. Trevor Chalobah, Declan Rice, and others are just within that same range. That's one of the key findings. The other one, So you can just scroll down and see is that Timothy Castagna is under fewer header. He has strong heading, but he does few headings. The headers won ratio per headers attempted per minute. He has fewer headers, but his heading is strong. And all of this, Rafael Varane is above it all. Lots of headers and strong heading. That's something you'll have to see. Also, another one here I can see is that Daka, Patson Daka, fewer passes, accurate passing, it's all there. And then Smith Rowe, Arsenal's player, is the one that is, his pass completion is 88.9%. Wow, that's nice. So that's this tab for the next match, where you see everything about the next match. This is the home page. You can change and place anything that you want, by the way, but I just love this home page. It just has a lot and almost everything you want to see. You can look at the information about our last match, and in our last match we beat Cardiff City in the Carabao Cup. Was it the 4th round? If we come to the schedule, you can just check that. Yes, it was the Carabao Cup 4th round. We beat Cardiff by 2-1. All that information is in the home screen. And the last time that I left you guys, I know I left you when we had played the 3rd round Carabao Cup against Palace, beating them by 4-1. We went on to beat Nottingham Forest by 4-1 in the Premier League. And then the winter break came from the 12th of November to the 10th of December, where we then invited Real Madrid, a match that was even televised. They invited us and we played a friendly against them, which we won 1-0 away. Then I created one of those friendlies just to make our players happy and make them see that they can perform, that they're a high level team. I created a friendly against Paris FC. I think it is a league, they must be playing in the Ligue 2. Yeah, the French Ligue 2, a French Ligue 2 side, as you can see. And we beat them by 9-0, where Wout Weghorst scored a whooping 4 goals. 5, was it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Weghorst scored 5 goals, Elanga scored, Antony scored, Sabitzer scored. We just went in with a very average team, as you can see. Weghorst, Elanga, Van de Beek, Antony, Fred, Sabitzer, Malacia, Martinez, Maguire, and Dalot, who is also leaving us in January. We'll come to that in a while, but yeah, just a few of those friendlies. And then the Cardiff City game, Carabao Cup 4th round, we also played, where we beat them by 2-1, goals from Anthony and Anthony Martial, and also Kaba also scored 1 for Cardiff. It was a hard game. It was not easy. It was hard for us to convert in the end, but we managed to win it, even though we didn't perform dismally. As you can see, most of our ratings were just at 6, 6.8, 6.5, 6.7. Only 1, 2, 3, 4 players were in their 7s. And also Anthony Martial, who came on to score the win, I guess, got a 7.6. Finished as man of the match in the end, though he came on in the second half. But one thing I believe you've already realized is just how cool this screen looks. Just look at this. You can look at the statistics feedback from the match. You can look at the statistics just the way they are here. The shots. Then these are the goals. Okay, so we were looking at the home tab, just a couple of things, blah blah blah. Our last match against Cardiff City, where we beat them by 2-1. We can also look at our previous matches all across here. I just wish this tab were wider so that I can see the results up alongside everything else. But our last games we have against Cardiff, Paris FC, Real Madrid, Nottingham, Crystal Palace, just the way they are arranged. We can also look at the assistance report, our team depth chart. The goalkeepers in the team have good reflexes. These are the strengths, and then we also have the weaknesses. Our passing is just down, and then the weaknesses. Long range shots are not this team's specialty, so we should remove the long range shots command. Then we have command of area. This is the best group of goalkeepers in terms of commanding their area, so we'll look into that too. There's some concern about the kicking among the keepers. The keepers are not so accomplished in that. Then we can also have the comparison with the league, like highest average in English Premier League. We have players unavailable. That's for, is that injury? Lowest average in the Premier League, just the comparison. We can look at all positions, goalkeeping positions in itself. We have the highest average of goalkeepers in the Premier League. Defending, we are above average. This is Chelsea and Crystal Palace. Where are we? That's Crystal Palace. Below average. Yeah. Heading, oh, this is just the stats. Jumping reach, heading, marking. Manchester City, highest average in the Premier League. Above average we have Chelsea. That's in terms of pace. Just a couple of statistics in those positions, blah blah blah. We also have the team depth chart. I can look at my team depth from here. That's something I really love to see. It's something that can really help me in terms of deciding for transfers and all of those other things. From the striking position, I have 7 players that I can play in that position. Across the midfield, there are 10, 9 defensive, 7 in the right, 5 on the left. So maybe looking for more on the left. 6 goalkeepers. That's a lot. I'll be looking to sell some, how to take some on loan, and then 9 players who can play here. But remember, those players who can play here, the same players who can play here, and the same players who can maybe play in front. So the depth just not like that. Then I can also look at the squad from this position, and then I can also look at individuals. Individual training. I can praise Elanga's training, David Junior Elanga. Like I can see, he got a 9 point something. So he trained well. I'm going to praise his training before that. And then we also have medical report for this guy. I think he's the Barron's. This is our head performance analyst. Yeah, Paul Brandt. Nice. It's nice to see that he also has a face in the game. Wonderful. Then from the home tab, you can just look at my profile. It even has our country's football badge, the Kenyan Football Federation, Kenya. I mean, this is interesting. Then look at the scouting knowledge. I have scouting knowledge in terms of Kenya, it's green, and then in England it is a bit yellow. This is the formation I am known for: playing against pressing, and then standard playing style, adventurous playing mentality, mixed marking style, and then the pressing style is not known. My salary, my expiry date, the time my contract expires. My career stats are here. We have played 24 games, won 75% of them, drawn 17% of them, and lost only 8%. Win percentage 75. I'm a really successful manager, I should say. My highest fee spent is 55 million, and my total career earning is only 3.7 million. I'll just have to look at that. Our characteristics: our media handling is the lowest. I never attend press conferences, and I just love everything that I'm seeing all across here. Kenyan, Kisumu. Let's say if I press Kenya and it takes me back home. This is our home stadium. This is wonderful to see. Moi International Sports Center. This is the Kenyan coach. He's Turkish. And then one of some of our best players, the likes of Victor Wanyama, Ayunga, Olunga. Man. Then we also have, we have someone known as Angel Warui playing for Brentford. I never knew there was someone who like that. Has he even played anything for Brentford so far? Brentford Premier League 0 appearances, Plymouth 0. Dude has no appearances in any of those things. You can also see the Kenyan national team has a friendly with Burundi. Man, I didn't know this skin will get up to this point. My contract details, I can look at that. The promises I made, these are just the normal ones from the game. That's the original face of the game. As you can see, it's just the same. Then we also have something here, head coach timeline. This one is just from the game, I guess, too. I think we also have job history. We have my biography. Nothing much to see. Press conferences, I rarely attend press conferences. And it also has history about my press conference. Michelle is a quality finisher. Van de Gaag is the one who always attends them most of the time. So that's the home tab. That generally, all of that, just nice to see. When you go to the inbox, it's just the normal inbox one, but also a little bit changed. Wonderful. As you can see, first of all, which team would you prefer being your opponent? Chelsea, Birmingham, or Fulham? I guess this is the FA Cup the Carabao fourth round, which was already drawn. I will show you in a minute which team we are facing up next. The news: Athletic Bilbao hold out for a draw. 1-1 against Sevilla. Luis signs new 5-year deal with Manchester City. Shelby injury blow for Nottingham Forest. The leagues in focus also, just around the world. Just everything the way it was though. Then we have the squad. All these faces, it's nice to see. It's just nice to see them. And then you can also see the squad that I've already picked. The head coach, the captain, the vice captain, key players, average age, average height, average weight, average wage, 8.6 million per year. And then team personality, highly ambitious. And also the average ratings of the club. Another thing I really loved was the condition and sharpness. Match condition is the one that is above, and then sharpness is the one that is inside, as you can see here. So like someone like Brandon Williams, his condition is 91%. he has a increased load of injury, risk of injury, match load is medium, and then his sharpness is only 64%. So if I want to choose a player going into the match, I'll just check their condition and sharpness. Very simplified over here. It's easier to look at than what we initially had looking at. As you can see, Garnacho, his sharpness is really low. So Garnacho, I wouldn't recommend using him in a very tough match or a huge match, because he just won't perform the way I expect him to. Maybe use him in some friendlies and then maybe take him back to the under 21s to just increase his ability a little bit, and then do everything. Someone like Phil Jones almost has 0% condition and his sharpness does not even exist. Axel Tuanzebe is another one that his sharpness is almost down, but his condition is increasing because he is coming back. Sancho also has a little bit of match sharpness because he just came from injury. Elanga's match sharpness, I don't know why his match sharpness is maintaining. Sancho's sharpness is dropping. These three cannot play at all. So that's the squad tab. A couple of the things are still the same, but we can just see how they are. Everything here just wonderful. Then we have the squad planner. Everything is almost still the same again. You can look at the squad, the way we look, the players that we have in those areas, to those positions, and also see how we can improve, what we can improve. We also have this the right back, of which Diogo Dalot is leaving us, meaning I'll have to look for a right back very soon, maybe this January transfer window. We'll talk about that. On the left, I'm happy I still have Luke Shaw. I've rejected bids for Malacia. You guys remember how much I wanted to sell Tyrell Malacia when the season began. I don't have that plan now. No, Malacia is not going. Dude is staying. I'm happy to have him. He's a really good wing back. Has a couple of assists. As you can see, let's just look at his profile a little bit. Malacia has a couple of assists, a couple of goals. This season he has played 8 games for us. Oh, this is the Premier League. 8 games, 0 goals, 0 assists, but an average match rating of 6.7. But when it comes to the cup, Dude has 1 appearance. Oh, he has an assist in non-competitive leagues, 1 yellow card. He has an assist in the Continentals. Overall club has 1 assist. I think Malacia has more than that. But his stats and his form have just been good. He has just been good across. Oh, he has an assist in the Europa League. This is what I was talking about. I knew Dude had an assist somewhere from his position, and he rarely gets game time, but he has an assist in that. In the Carabao Cup, he has an average rating of 7.1 in the 1 match that he has played, and in the Europa League, an average rating of 7.0 in those matches that he has played. If Luke Shaw is going to play the more competitive games, I'll need Malacia to play the less competitive games. And that brings me to just looking at these player stats. Let me look at this and finish up with it before we continue with the others and just complete, not make this video too long. This is going to be a little bit long. On the profile overview, we can just see his map, his smiling face of Tyrell Malacia, the Manchester United badge, and then his countries, the Netherlands football badge, his positions, his role and duty, his transfer value. This stuff just looks wonderful. Then we can also see his stats over here. These are his attributes. Then next you can come here, you can look at his information. His full name is Tyrell Johannes Shiko Malacia, something I never knew about. I know also you never knew about this. He favors Feyenoord because he was a player there. Nationality Dutch. He has had 9 caps, 0 goals, 721 caps and 021 goals. He's eligible to play for the Netherlands. Just his general information. Okay, so information, that's just generally what we have. Then when we come and look at the contract, we can look at his full-time contract with us, when he started, when it expires, then the percentage of the club's total payroll, his bonuses, unused substitute fee is using a lot because he's majorly a substitute. Closest top division relegation, salary drop, optional contract extension by the club is for 1 year. I can activate it if needed. That's where I find the info. Then the transfers, the main interest is from Borussia Dortmund. Major interest, Porto want him. You remember when we transfer loan listed him, so all these clubs want him. A couple of them. Interest in Malacia is thought to be high. Dortmund and Porto are among the clubs looking at the player. Then we can also see this transfer status. I had said this to note status. I don't know why it is just going back to transfer status. I'm not transfer listing this guy at all. Then we have the training. You can look at the player's training. If his training rating is dropping, we can criticize or praise him. Then what we can over here, we can also look at the stats that are increasing, like his long throw is increasing, penalty taken is increasing, leadership is also going up, his stamina is also going up, and all this is all under training. His left foot is the strong foot, right foot is the reasonable one. We have the medical report. Injury susceptibility is below average. He doesn't get injured much. And then influential player, oh, the dynamics down here, we have his 4 positives in him and then 1 negative. The 1 negative in Tyrell Malacia is that he's considering his options. He's considering to leave. it's not good. I didn't want to do that when I transfer listed him. Oh, we were not done. Okay, then we have his history, the clubs that he has played for. He has only played 8 games for us so far, 0 goals. For Feyenoord, he played 98 matches and scored 4 goals from 2016 to 2022. His statistics, we can also see his assists, per 90 minutes is 0.09, xg 0.03. He has attempted shots, pass completion is 91%. Dude is like a passing mastermind. In the few matches that he has played, head winning ratio is a little bit bad. That one comes down to just his attributes. His heading is just a 9, so I wouldn't expect much from him. Then we have his analysis. We can also look at the creativity of defense, Malacia and the Premier League. We can see he's well below average in terms of dribbling, key passes, but when it comes to passing percentage, he is there. And then also when it comes to progressive passes per 90 minutes, he is well above the average Premier League positioning. Then we can also look at the attacking among defenders. He is well below average when it comes to assists and also key passes and also dribbling, but he's well passing per 90 minutes, and also open play expected assists are a lot, way above the Premier League's grades. Then we also have 9 penalty xg per 90 minutes, way above the defenders in the Premier League, all of them. You can also look at the contract details. Just some of these things are just the same, just a couple of things. As you can see, we can see all of that. We have the development, the training. We can look at his mentality, passing style, competent, accomplished, creative freedom, trigger press, fluid. He's fluid in a couple of these things. He's unaccomplished when it comes to the width. This is his tactical familiarity. This one you can just do with any player that you wish to look at. You can also look at his stats and his form. His stats, that's just the way we saw a couple of things that happened. One thing I love is just the form. This graph, as you can see, 7.1 in the game against Nantes, 7.0. The matches that he has played, the parts that are blank are games that we played but he missed. So I really I love this thing. You can also look at the form and you can look at the feedback. Seemed to be showing some signs of overconfidence during the warm-up routines. Appears to have some problems motivating himself to play with Harry Maguire as our captain. Looked a bit tired going into the match. Is looking exhausted out there. Just the feedback from the matches he has played. Yeah, absolutely interesting. Just interesting what we see. Tactics. Vegas, just the faces, their short numbers are behind them, all the players, the way they are, just wonderful. Though some of these things are just maybe, yeah, some are just the same, but a couple of things have changed. You can see from the position instructions. These are the team report from the show person back onto his weaker side to limit the pros he got. Then we can ask assistant to just tell the team what to do against these players, and such things have been activated, like show him onto his weaker foot, showing the players onto their weaker foot, then telling then we have the data hub, couple of things, couple of key findings about the club. We have stronger match momentum when looking at the match. Overall physical output are eye-catching for this club. We have the team performance, we have the player performances, the way our players are distributed across the graphs. And what is this? That passing from our forwards is really poor. Lots of passing but inaccurate. The likes of Anthony, Marcus Rashford and Sancho, I'm not happy about that from the forwards. It can help us analyze our teams a lot. Then we also have the staff, a couple of things, a couple of just color changes in the intervals. Then we have the training. You can look at the training calendar. Everything, a couple of things are just the same, but just the way this thing looks is wonderful, just wonderful. The medical center, the injury risks, the injury susceptibility risk assessment, we can also look at Just nice to be seeing these players' faces one by one. Current injuries, we also have Tuanzebe and Phil Jones are the only ones injured. Injury history, we also have these guys who have been out for a couple of days because of some injuries. And we also have the season summary in terms of injury. Phil Jones, this is the percentage of the games missed so far from injuries, all those players. Schedule, just the same. Then another thing, if you look at here, this part, the stadium cutouts that I downloaded, they're like behind everything. Like you can see the stadium, the Cardiff City Stadium is just behind the, like we go into the Cardiff City Stadium, the peak, then we also have the information. Though I don't have here, I'm supposed to be having a picture of Wales, of Cardiff, the city in Wales. Full screen image doesn't work. Matches played there, we have the teams playing there and the competitions that have been played there, like that one. Paris, we played with them at Old Trafford. This is the Bernabeu right behind that. Then this is the City Ground in Nottingham. Crystal Palace, we played them here. Everything, just look at this information, the way it's given. They just looks beautiful, man. It's all beautiful, something you love to see. Liverpool, we face them some time to come. Aston Villa with their old badge, currently they're not using it, but that was their badge then. The competitions, you can see the English Premier League, the Europa League, the badges have changed a little. If we look at the Europa League now, we can see the clubs that have already, the knockout playoffs are still being played. We are not yet been drawn in the next round of 16. But now when we come to the group stages, which group was it? Just the stages, yeah. Where is the groups? Was it group A or group B, or which group was that? There was this team that I didn't know the name at all, but I haven't made any name fixes. So we can also see the teams, the first seeds we have. These were the teams that finished number 1 in their groups, the likes of Dynamo Kiev, Crvena Zvezda, Arsenal, Rangers, all these squads. And then we also have Copenhagen, Real Sociedad. I just need to make the name fixes, of which I'm going to do with time. But it's nice so far where we have reached. We have come far. We have really come far in terms of improving our game. So that's for the Europa League. And also the top scorer, we have Immobile with 8, Vegas with 7, Tammy Abraham with 5. The player statistics, if we just look at them, everyone, yeah, interesting, lovely, just lovely. In the FA Cup, we have already been drawn in the third round, and we are facing I'm not seeing it here, but we'll just see. Now when we come to the schedule, I was just to show you the, in the FA Cup third round we have Huddersfield, and in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals we have Southampton. It's really bad that, look at the Carabao Cup quarterfinal draw: City, Birmingham, Fulham, Bradford, Southampton, Manchester United. Then this game, Arsenal, Chelsea. Wow, it's too early for these two to meet. It's quite early for these two to meet, but that meet. So here City are definitely favorites, Fulham are favorites. This is a really difficult game considering Southampton's recent form. These guys, just look at this guy's recent form, their past few matches. They beat Newcastle by 4-2 in the Carabao Cup fourth round, beat Leeds, beat Stoke. The last time they lost was to us. Before that, they had beaten Tottenham, Newcastle, Forest and Leicester. They had lost to Liverpool and Chelsea a couple of the games before. But Southampton currently sit 4th in the Premier League, and we are 3rd. Wow, so it's a difficult match. They are just a couple of points behind us though. Then when it comes to scouting, this is just all that we have, a couple of scouting ideas. Then we have this one that has come in for us, 22-year-old Jürgen Ekkelenkamp from Royal Antwerp, whose attributes, as you can see, are a couple. Off the ball he's nice, but most of them are in his yellows. We'll just see what we can do with them if we want to look at much of them, because of the interest that they raised from PSG for Bruno Fernandes. I think it will be about time I start looking for a really capable attacking midfielder, and one of them that is in my shortlist that I'll definitely look at with time to come is Jude Bellingham. This guy, if I can get the money from the club to sign him, I would be really happy. Look at these attributes, it's nice. I will be really happy to bag this guy in the squad. Major interests we have from Arsenal, and minor interest from me, Manchester United, but in Arsenal really want him. and he will be wanted a fee around 94.19 million. So that's something to look at starting next season. Then when it comes to transfers, January is approaching fast, and we have made some improvements and we have made some way up. Diogo Dalot is leaving us on a transfer for 22 million, going to Benfica. He's the only player that is going out. Tyrell Malacia, he was still on the list, and Al Sadd approached us with a loan request, but I rejected it with an option to buy. But I rejected it. They wanted to pay 50% of his wages. Yeah, I rejected Malacia's loan bid because I came back to like this player. You know, I may come in with my own thoughts about a player, but he impresses me. So Malacia did just that, and he impressed me, and Malacia, he's going nowhere. So Tyrell Malacia, you're here to stay. Diogo Dalot is the one that is leaving in January. 22 million, 17 million was added to the transfer budget, which is currently 18, because, yeah, this is what I've done. Malik Thiaw, our defender, will be joining us on loan from January till the end of the season. This one I guess I already talked about in the previous video, but this is our first signing, and it will, I think, maybe one of the only signings of the January transfer window. Ilias Akomaj from Barcelona, a wonder kid, 18-year-old prospective player, currently has a 3-star rating for Nini, but has a potential to grow even higher as a star player. But currently he is fairly good rating for the senior team, 1.5-star rated. He is going to be a key project for the future. He will come in. I will send him to the under-21s to grow with the other players, and we bought him for a fee of 7 million. How much did I buy Ilias for? 6.5 million, with an ability to rise for up to 7.7 million if Barcelona were to recommend and want more money. So currently we have signed Ilias Akomaj, who will join us on the 1st of January. Malik Thiaw will be joining us on the 1st of January, and I think those are going to be our only January transfer requests, unless we find another thing that we're looking for. And one of the fields that I am definitely looking for, one of the places that I'm definitely looking for a player is this position here. Yeah, the right wing back, a full back, and we still haven't found any. Yeah, I sent out some scouts to look for some good right full backs for me, but they still haven't found any. And then maybe we can just eliminate a couple of these, maybe to make it work it all easier. But the scouting in all positions, maybe just eliminate a few to make sure they work on what we want. 9 days left to the transfer window, and I need a fullback because a couple of our fullbacks are leaving. Another player that is a good fullback, I remember I saw him and I also used him once in the last game, is Brandon Williams. I had transfer listed this guy. Burnley are rumored to be interested in this guy. I had transfer listed this guy, but I remembered I lack fullback, so he will stay for now. Maybe go if I find the players that I want. Yeah, he will go. So I have transfer listed him. I have removed him from the transfer list. I have removed him from the loan list. So he will only go if what is this? I feel Brandon Williams will improve if he started knocking the ball past the opponent when taking them on his strong presence. Accept suggestion, and let's just do that. So I will only sell him once we have settled in ourselves. And the club information, we already saw all of this. The past matches, just the records, the stadium, the kids. I also downloaded them. Then our hottest prospect is Kobbie Mainoo, whom I will be calling up to the senior team as from January. Yeah, I've already said it. Kobbie Mainoo deserves first 11 gaming time. He has been performing at his best. Just look at the history. The history of this guy, his form. This guy's form is at his peak. In the under-21 Sweden versus Tranmere, he scored 2 goals, 0 assists from a defensive midfield position. And I also I figured out one thing: the under-21s, just like the under-18s and everyone else, are playing the same formation I'm using, 4-2-3-1 gegen pressing, and Kobbie Mainoo is definitely shining in that position. Omari Foson is also one of them, could be a quality player and potential as good as Eriksen. But Kobbie Mainoo, from January, this guy, I think, decent rating for the senior team. This dude is going to come into the first 11, or we may even delay it if we see we are not going to give him much game time. But the way he's growing in the academy, that's the same way I want our new signing what's even his name, Elias Akomach. It will take time for me to master that name, but that's the same way I will want Elias Akomach to come and grow in the academy, in the under 21 section. So Kobbie Mainoo, I am going to call him up for the Papa John's Trophy. Has 2 goals, 1 assist, and his average rating is just immense, and he's still contracted to us up to 2027. So we still have Kobbie for the time being. So I may call him up when we start, or maybe later on, maybe at the start of next season. But I feel like calling him up as soon as possible and just giving him game time, maybe giving him a couple of games, and then if we see that we have a couple of hard fixtures that he may not play in, we send him back to the under 21s to continue playing and growing his potential, the way City were doing with Cole Palmer, and also Chelsea were doing with Armando Broja. So that's definitely one thing to look at in the future. Our finances tab, nothing much has changed in terms of these ones, but yeah, so you can look at the salary info, all of this. Now it is really easy to go through finances and just see everything. Summary, salary commitments, we can see the wage commitment, the expiry date of everything, the wages for this season, the wages for the next season, the wages for the other season, then its transfer value, which I don't know why is still $0. 20.5, 20.2, 20.9, 0.9.0. We still have those players for a while. Then we have the code of conduct. This one is for missing training, getting a red card, sent off, a straight red, multiple booking suspensions, going a wall per day. We have the FFP. We have passed the FFP in the English Premier League, and we've also passed the FFP in the European competitions. The debts and loans tab still looks the same. Sponsor service still looks the same, and also the projection for our end of 2022 season. 22-23 season, we are expected to have a really low balance. 23-24, it's low. Nothing has improved. Then yeah, expenditure is really going high. We look at that, but we need to spend money to make money, right? Yeah, just as expected. And now after that, now what we have next is Leicester City in the league, of which will be part of our next video as we begin the next episode. Before I finish, there is one thing we haven't looked at. We can change the skins. I failed to mention this. Let's say it's a Champions League match night. I can do that, and boom, the Champions League match night, it looks incredible. As we are playing the Europa, we have 2 skins for that. We have this one. When the Europa League match nights reach, I can just pick that one, or I can pick this one. Another Champions League one is this one, but this one seems too bright and it seems to be covering a lot, so much cannot be seen behind that, but it looks nice. The Conference League one looks late, but I don't want to play the Conference League. No one wants to play the Conference League. Manchester United in the Conference League, that would be a really hard letdown. This one looks really incredible for the Premier League, of which we are going to use definitely for the Premier League, just to subside, blah, blah, blah. No, it's this one. This is the one that looks incredible for the Premier League. Wow, just looks nice. Then the others, you can just use them for maybe the cup competitions and all the others. Yeah, so this one for the Premier League, this is where we're just going to begin with. I'm going to leave it here, and we just everything, the schedule. Next up is the Premier League. This is just a nice tab for them. After all of this, I would like to stop the video here. Thanks you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and if you really want this skin the way I have placed it, just go into the comment section, not the comment section, the just go into the video description, and you will find the link to Vince's skin for FM23 and FM24. It also works on Football Manager 2024, which most of you guys have. I unfortunately don't have funds to purchase FM24, but if you guys will love this skin, just go in. I've already placed the link in the description. Download it and enjoy the game play. Let's meet next time as we meet against Leicester City in the Premier League and play a couple of games heading into the 1st of January for a very cool transfer special, of which we are going to begin this January. Bye guys, and I hope to see you in the next video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment in this comment section below, just to let me know your thoughts. Goodbye.